This is Tom Fox. I'd like to welcome you to the newest addition to the Compliance Podcast Network, the Compliance Tip of the Day. This is the podcast where we bring you daily insights and practical advice on navigating the ever-evolving landscape of compliance requirements. Whether you're a seasoned compliance professional or just starting your journey, my aim in this podcast is to provide you with a bite-sized, actionable tip to help you stay on top of your compliance game. Join us as we explore the latest trends from the Department of Justice, share some best practices, demystify complex compliance issues to help keep your organization doing business ethically and in compliance, and at the end of the day, more profitably. Tune in daily for your dose of compliance wisdom. Let's make compliance a little less daunting, one tip at a time. Now a word from the sponsor of the Compliance Podcast Network, Ethico.
If you're a compliance officer, middle managers are crucial in getting your programs from you to your frontline employees. But how do we activate those managers and get them on our side? Ethico's new Middle Manager Toolkit equips you with the skills needed to empower your managers, to promote a culture where ethical behavior thrives and employees feel empowered to speak up. Learn how to turn frontline managers into ethical leaders with our new white paper, Empowering Middle Managers as Ethics Champions. And did I mention you can get the whole toolkit for free? Head to ethico.com to download the full toolkit today.
As I indicated yesterday, we're going to take a deep dive into compliance design training objectives over the next 3 podcast series, and we're going to begin with the first 3 today. Number 1, align your compliance training to top compliance risks at your organization. Both the 2023 ECCP and the 2020 FCPA Resource Guide, 2nd edition, are only 2 in the latest of a long line of DOJ documents and pronouncements that your compliance program should be based on the risk your organization faces. Obviously, this starts with a risk assessment, but that extends out into your compliance training. It is critical that you design your training program to directly address the risk your company faces. 2, professionally designed. More and more, the training experience of the workforce is to expect professional quality training. Obviously, this includes compliance training. This is tempered with the fact that anyone with an iPhone can create professional level video, but the days of compliance training by static PowerPoint have long since passed. Indeed, compliance training will not be taken seriously if the quality is substandard. 3, applicability to adult learners. There is a lot of debate about adult learning theory and the strategies that appeal to various demographics. You should aim for courses that speak intelligently to a sophisticated and experienced professional audience at your workforce. Companies have different cultures, different styles, and different tastes. This can mean formal but conversational, serious but not stuffy. You must guard against talking down to employees or treating them like children going forward. Ensuring accessibility of your compliance training is obviously important. In a multinational company that the FCPA is going to apply to, this means more than simply having your compliance training in different languages, but you have to look at the meaning of the translated word going forward. So a variety of things that you need to consider from today's episode, but it all starts with your risks as determined by your risk assessment. Incorporate that into your compliance training. As I said in the opening of this podcast, this month's sponsor of the entire Compliance Podcast Network is Ethico, and they've developed a toolkit for middle managers that will help middle managers in intaking information from employees and, equally importantly, understanding how to respond and how to get the information up to compliance for the decision makers. We've linked to this toolkit in our show notes, so check it out at ethico.com. This is Tom Fox again. This new podcast, Compliance Tip of the Day, will appear daily, and frankly, it's one of the most requested topics for a podcast that I get on a regular basis. It's going to be short and sweet with one tip with some takeaways that you can utilize to implement into your compliance program. If you've got a question that you would like a tip on, please submit them through our website, and we will use them in an upcoming episode. The compliance tip of the day is a production of the award-winning Compliance Podcast Network.